Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 47th president of the United States of America, and that is none other than Donald J. Trump. Congratulations poured in from Israeli leaders, and celebrations erupted in the streets of Israel, even as protests from last night were dying down. The protests because Netanyahu decided he had had enough of his defense minister Yoav Gallant and gave him the boot. Guys, we're talking about all of that here on today's show. I'm Justin, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably seen by now, by the time you're watching this video, that Donald Trump will officially be the 47th president of the United States. All of the votes aren't in as of yet, but it looks like he won in a landslide. As of recording time, he has 286 points in the Electoral College, but it's projected that he will get a lot more than that biggest landslide win in a long time. Conservatives in America, of course, across the world, are very, very happy. Israelis, for the most part, are very relieved. This is a very big win, probably the biggest political comeback in American history of politics, you could say.
Hey, look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
When Trump first got into office back in 2016, we weren't sure exactly what his policies would be on Israel. He didn't say much about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, as they call it. But thankfully, he was one of the most pro-Israel presidents we have ever had. He did a lot in his first 4 years of office, and he's promising even more this time. He's claimed before that if he was in office, October 7th never would have happened. He's also promising to end the war in Gaza, to stop just putting so much pressure on the Israeli administration. He wants the war in Gaza to be over. Also, he would lay heavy sanctions on Iran like he did in his first term. He will probably cut funding to things like Palestinian Authority, things like UNRWA, a lot more stuff like that. Let's hope he goes through on these promises. He was one of the most pro-Israel presidents we have ever had, and hopefully he will be once again. This does make it more likely that Iran will be attacking Israel sooner rather than later, I believe, because they know that if they attack during a Trump presidency, the consequences will be much, much more severe. Iran is still threatening Israel. They've been threatening Israel. Something could happen in the coming days before Trump actually gets into office. Now, Israelis are celebrating here in Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said this on X or Twitter. He said, quote, "Dear Donald and Melania Trump, congratulations on history's greatest comeback. Your historic return to the White House offers a new beginning for America and a powerful recommitment to the great alliance between Israel and America. This is a huge victory in true friendship, Netanyahu." Itamar Ben-Gvir reposted a tweet from earlier in the year that said, "God bless Trump." Education Minister Yoav Gallant said, "Welcome back, Mr. President." President Isaac Herzog said, quote, "Congratulations to President Donald Trump on your historic return to the White House. You are a true and dear friend of Israel and a champion of peace and cooperation in our region." Guys, we'll be back with the rest of the show in just 1 second, but first, in times of war and conflict, the people of Israel have always found strength and solace in the Psalms. Today, as we pray for the safety of our soldiers and the return of our hostages, we turn to these ancient prayers, trusting in their miraculous power to bring them home safely and alive. The Israel Bible Book of Psalms Pray Like David edition captures this power, offering a way to connect deeply with the divine. As Psalm 91 verse 2 says, "I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust." These words are a source of strength and protection, and especially in moments of uncertainty and danger. This special edition features the original Hebrew text, English translations, and transliterations, making it accessible for everyone to pray like King David. As we lift our voices in prayer for the future of the United States and the safety of our Holy Land, let these Psalms provide comfort, hope, and divine intervention. Experience the power of the Psalms for yourself. Let the Israel Bible Book of Psalms be your guide in these challenging times. Just click the link in the description below to get your copy today. Not everything is peaceful and celebration like here in Israel. Netanyahu smartly took advantage of news coverage being on the U.S. elections, not a lot happening necessarily on Israel right now. He took advantage of that to fire Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. And I think this is probably a good move. Gallant has not been very cooperative with the Prime Minister, which I think is really important for a Defense Minister. They need to be, the Defense Minister and the Prime Minister need to be in sync, and they definitely were not in sync. They had major disagreements recently on big issues. For example, Yoav Gallant has been leaking information from cabinet meetings, which is totally unacceptable. So I think it was time for him to go. Netanyahu said this, quote, "In the midst of war, more than ever, complete trust is required between the Prime Minister and the Defense Minister. Unfortunately, even though such trust was present during the first months of the military campaign, we had a very productive cooperation during the past several months. This trust between myself and the Defense Minister has begun to crack." And he said that they had, quote, substantial disagreements on the management of the military campaign, disagreements which were accompanied by public statements and actions that contravened the decisions of the government and the security cabinet. A senior Israeli official close to Netanyahu told JNS that, quote, "With Gallant gone, the leaks from the cabinet will most probably subside and the achievements will increase." So that is good. Netanyahu, he appointed as the replacement Foreign Minister Israel Katz. So he's the new defense minister, and Gideon Sa'ar is replacing Israel Katz. Netanyahu said this about Israel Katz, quote, "He has proven his abilities and has made a contribution to national security as Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Finance, Minister of Intelligence for 5 years, and equally important as a longstanding member of the State Security Cabinet." A Channel 12 report noted that as part of the move, Netanyahu and Katz are expected to launch a bid to replace Israel Defense Forces Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi and other senior Israeli security officials, which I think is a great idea. They have not been in sync with the Prime Minister. After the firing of Gallant, multiple opposition leaders called for protests because they want any chance they can to protest against Netanyahu, and that is exactly what happened last night. There were a lot of protests in Tel Aviv, but honestly, it's just an excuse for these leftists to get out and to make a big stink about something, and they really don't like Netanyahu, so it's a great excuse for them to get out and protest against anything that Netanyahu is doing. It's not near as bad as the media was trying to make it out to be. Like, people were saying it was some kind of civil war or something. Definitely not. Nothing like that. It's just a bunch of leftist knuckleheads will jump on any opportunity to protest against Netanyahu. Guys, we'll see what happens in the coming days. We still need to continue to pray for Israel, guys. Let's keep that up. An attack from Iran is definitely still on the table. It's looming over Israel right now. Even earlier today, I heard some booms and I saw some puffs in the sky from the Iron Dome taking out Hezbollah rockets close to where we are here on Har Bracha. So continue to pray for Israel that they will have total victory over their enemies. Guys, don't forget to check out Israel 365's the Israel Bible Book of Psalms. Link is in the description below. Make sure and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, stop listening to the lies and propaganda and connect with the truth of what is happening here in Israel. We'll be back soon here at the Israel Guys. Catch you in the next one.